from Louisiana's home team. This is Fox 8 News at 4 p.m.
Health officials try to pinpoint the source of an E. coli infection that killed a local child and made 2 others sick. The State Department of Health and Hospitals confirms that a child who was diagnosed with E. coli infection in the New Orleans area died.
And now the agency is trying to find the exact source of the toxic infection that also made 2 other people sick. All the illnesses were reported in May. Now, health experts say the advice is simple when it comes to protecting yourself against a potentially fatal infection.
There's a certain strain of E. coli called E. coli 0157 that produces a toxin that can affect the inside of your intestinal system.
Doctors call E. coli 0157 one of the most dangerous forms. State epidemiologists know a toxic strain claimed the life of a child in the New Orleans area and affected 2 others. Touro Family Physician Dr. Meredith Maxwell says symptoms begin as any stomach virus would.
I've been seeing a lot of gastroenteritis, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, with or without bloody stools, some crampy abdominal pain, but I've also been seeing people go into renal failure from the dehydration caused by the E. coli strain.
Doctors say E. coli is a species of fecal coliform bacteria that can come from humans and other warm-blooded animals. It can be found on things we eat every day, raw vegetables, and the ground beef we use for summer barbecues.
Wash your hands. Be very aware of where you're eating, your cooking processes. So if you don't wash your vegetables properly, if you put them on the cutting board before you wash them and you get the E. coli all over, there can be cross-contamination, definitely. If you look in a hamburger and it's really pink, that can be at an increased risk for having E. coli. So you need to make sure that your hamburger meat, especially the ground beef, is cooked through and through.
The USDA announced it's expanding the search for dangerous bacteria in meat. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety Inspection Services will begin testing ground beef for 6 additional strains of E. coli. If the meat is contaminated, it will be banned from being sold and subject to a recall. Dr. Maxwell says your body will tell you if you're at risk by an illness that just won't go away.
If it's prolonged, you can't keep anything down, you're immunocompromised, you're very young or elderly, you need to be especially careful about those things and go to the doctor sooner rather than later.
Well, the USDA says there are more than 700 strains of E. coli bacteria. Most of our immune systems can fight them.
From Louisiana's home team, this is Fox 8 News at 5 p.m.
State epidemiologists confirm a child in the New Orleans area died from a toxic strain of E. coli bacteria. The same strain made 2 other people sick, and now they're trying to find out where the bacteria came from. E. coli can be found on raw fruits and vegetables, from farm runoff, and in raw meats. It's a form of fecal coliform bacteria from human or warm-blooded animal waste. Touro Family Physician Dr. Meredith Maxwell says symptoms of E. coli contamination begin as any stomach virus would.
I've been seeing a lot of gastroenteritis, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, with or without bloody stools, some crampy abdominal pain, but I've also been seeing people go into renal failure from the dehydration caused by the E. coli strain.
Maxwell says washing your hands before handling food is a must. She also stresses not to put raw meat on the same cutting board or surface as fresh vegetables to keep yourself and your family safe.